Hi everyone, I'm Bad Company Sarge, and this is my Faction and Reputation Guide. In this video, I'll explain how the reputation system works, and discuss the most important choices to make when it comes to siding with the factions. I'll be starting with the reputation side of things, as this will be very spoiler light, and then moving on to the faction focused part of the video, which will have to be a little more spoiler heavy. Enough of explaining the contents of the video, let's actually get started. With the Wastelanders update for Fallout 76, there came a new reputation system for the main two factions, the Raiders and the Settlers. If you want to check your current standing with the factions, you simply need to boot up the social menu. To do this, load up your map, hit the appropriate button or key as designated in the top right of the screen. This will then show you the social menu, at the top of which will be your username and the section highlighting your current standing with each faction. There are a total of 7 different reputation standings you can have with the factions. At the lowest rank, Hostile, members of the faction will openly attack you if you approach them. At every other reputation level, you can openly approach both factions without fear, talking to their members, trading with their vendors, and accepting quests from them. The higher your reputation level, the nicer faction individuals will be to you, and the more items will be available at faction vendors. There are a few different ways to raise reputation with the factions. First and foremost is completing main quests for them. Every time you complete a main quest for the Raiders or the Settlers, you will gain a large amount of faction reputation. There's only a limited number of these, however, so you'll need to do more than this if you want to max out your rep. For this reason, you'll want to do the Raider and Settler daily quests. Once every day, when you approach Crater or Foundation, the home bases of each side, you will have a daily quest pop up. Simply complete the quest and you will receive a moderate amount of reputation. Certain speech options and choices will help grant you some more rep. For example, in the Raider Daily, Retirement Plan, if you kill the former Raider and then use the Appalachia has a new corpse option when turning in the quest, you get some bonus reputation. In the other Raider Daily and the Settler Daily, you can also offer up the items you gathered for free, losing out on some of the more miscellaneous quest rewards, but seemingly gaining a small amount more reputation. In addition to the faction dailies, there's also a daily quest called Photo Opportunity, located at the Overseer's house. Talk to Davenport, the Mr. Handy in the basement, and take photos of the locations he requires. In order to do this, you will need the ProSnap camera. I did make a video about obtaining this a while back. If you have the personal terminal camp item, then this will help you find the individual who you get the camera off, but let's not get too off focus here. After you take pictures of either Crater or Foundation, then you have the choice to return them to Davenport or sell them to the opposing faction. If you want reputation, then you need to sell the photos to the opposing faction. You can also offer them up for free to the faction, once again sacrificing some generic rewards for a tiny bit more rep. In addition to choosing specific options during the dailies, choosing the right speech option in random encounters can also yield additional reputation. Whenever you enter a dialogue with a Settler or a Raider, keep a lookout for any options that would appeal to either faction. Raiders will generally favour you being tough, aggressive or threatening, while Settlers appreciate generosity and kindness. As well as speech options having the possibility of raising reputation, they can also lower it. In the example on screen, you will see that telling a Raider that he can keep equipment he stole from the Settlers will gain you reputation with Crater, but lose rep with Foundation. The choices where you lose reputation are generally quite obvious to see, as there are times when you're openly opposing or simply screwing over a faction, and even then the rep loss tends to be very small, so it isn't something you need to worry about all that much. One final way to gain a little bit of reputation is that if you see a group of Settlers or a group of Raiders fighting a creature, be it Mirelurks, a Deathclaw, just anything out in the wasteland, if you go over and help them kill the creature, and then just interact with all of them, one of them should give you a tiny bit of reputation and offer their thanks for you just helping them out, which I think is a really nice touch. Overall, the reputation grind is just that, a grind. You will want to max out your reputation with both factions in order to unlock all items from vendors, but don't expect it to happen overnight. It's a slow and constant journey to reach maximum reputation, and the best advice I can give would just be to relax, take your time with it, and accept that it's going to take a while. Completing dailies and farming random encounters can help speed up the process, but even then, it's still going to take you a long old time. Now, this guide isn't simply about faction reputation, we're also covering the best way to play, which is essentially shorthand for making sure you get the best rewards you can, don't miss out on anything special, and aren't going to regret having missed out on something you didn't know about. As I will be going over specific quest rewards, this section will contain spoilers. I won't be doing a full walkthrough of everything, so there still will be plenty of surprises waiting for you, but if you don't want any of the main quests spoiled, then you need to stop watching now. Alright, spoiler warning done. First up, I want to talk briefly about the Wayward Quests, as they contain one of the very best items in the game, and it's also one that's very easy to skip over. The Free Radicals mask is the only legendary piece of headwear in the game, making it incredibly valuable, while also being one of the easiest items to miss out on. During the Wayward questline, you will be asked to deal with the thugs harassing Duchess. You'll end up at a lumber mill in the top left of the map. Once you are sent here, it's important to approach peacefully, find the leader, and ask to join the gang. He will ask for Crane's treasure in order to join, which then sends you back to the bar to carry on the quest as normal. After finding Crane's treasure, you will then return to the bar where the Free Radicals are holding everyone hostage. Tell Roper that you have the treasure and he'll ask for it. You can then either just hand it over or pass any of the special checks in order to keep the treasure for yourself. After this exchange, you will then receive the Free Radicals mask with a random 1-star effect. If the effect you receive is not one you want, then you will need to quit out of the game straight away, reboot, and then go through the dialogue again. Do not turn in the quest or leave the Wayward until you have the version of the mask you want. After you have the mask you want, you can turn in the quest as normal, sacrificing no rewards, and also gaining an incredibly valuable item. Onto the main story choices now, and the starting part here is very simple. You will want to do every Raider and Settler quest up to the point where you have both Siding with Foundation and Siding with Quota active. These two quests are you simply choosing who you want to do the final heist with, and are the point of no return for the other faction. Make sure you have both these quests active before picking your side, as this means you've completed all the previous quests you can with the faction. As for which side you should pick, well, there are a couple of differences in rewards. Most of the quest rewards are fairly generic items you would expect from just about any quest in the game. The penultimate quests for both sides do yield a unique Raider and Settler outfit respectively. For the Settlers, you will receive the Worker outfit and Worker hat after completing all that glitters. For the Raiders, you get the Fashionable Raider outfit and Fashionable Raider hat as rewards at the end of Buried Treasure. Do keep in mind these items are purely cosmetic and, in my personal opinion, aren't particularly good looking, so they're not life-changing to get your hands on. In fact, there's only one additional reward from siding with one faction over the other, and that's Slugbuster, a legendary plasma rifle with the anti-armor, bonus VATS crit damage, and weightless legendary effects. This item can be obtained near the end of the Raider quest Buried Treasure. As long as you've been nice to Rara, she will offer to open up a door to a sealed off room for you. Let her do this, walk inside, and pick up Slugbuster off the table. Simple as that. For some reason, the Settlers don't appear to have their own named legendary waiting in the vault for you, and trust me, I was looking all over. I could not find anything. If someone does happen to have found something, let me know, but I scoured the whole place and just nothing. It was a real shame. When playing through as them, you can even look into the room where Slugbuster normally is, and the table will be empty. For this reason, the Raiders are the better faction to join if you want to maximise your rewards. That being said, if you have no interest in this weapon whatsoever, then you really should just go for whichever faction you personally prefer. For me, I find the Raiders a far more interesting faction, but I did end up enjoying the End Settlers quest more. Hopefully this video has provided you with some additional insight into the factions and the reputation system. No matter which choices you make when playing through Wastelanders, I hope you all enjoy the experience, and are looking forward to seeing what else will come to the game in the future. Make sure to subscribe to this channel in order to see news about upcoming content, guides on the game, and even just the odd fun video here and there. As always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.